And I'm just realizing the microphone was not working, but we're underway here at Michigan International Speedway. Kyle Nadeau leads him down to the green flag. He's going to hold that lead down into turn one. Over Kenny Reel to his outside. He is hanging tight, and he loves these drafting-style racetracks. That's going to come into play a lot this evening. We'll see how that plays out. So far, a great run on the outside. He's going to clear Nadeau for the lead with help from Bauman in the 89 on the outside. Reel clears for the lead as Nadeau and Bauman try to settle it for a second. Nadeau putting his car down to the outside. Now back to the inside, trying to get a run on the 88. 89 of Max Bauman electing to go to the inside with the 97 now. He wants a piece of that lead. Just behind them, battle for fifth already heating up. Wiggins making up multiple spots since the race start. He's already up 3 spots and charging hard on the outside in the 11. Up to P4 now, right on the back end of Max Bauman. Let's see if he sticks to that outside lane or sends it inside. He's going to go inside. He's got momentum on the 89 as the whole field sprawls out 4 lanes wide through turns 3 and 4. Down to the apron, getting everything he can for that number 11 machine as the 31 of Aaron Mack vies for that 4th position on his outside. Greg Burchett hanging strong in 5th place in that number 33. Remember, he's one of the ones we're going to have to watch on the cut line. Unfortunately, we didn't quite hear all that during the pre-race due to some technical difficulties, but as you saw earlier on the points, you're going to have to watch Crank Bell, Greg Burchett. And, of course, Barry Knapp all going for that final cutoff spot, that 6th spot in the points standings. Trying to make it happen here tonight with only 2 races remaining. Again, only 2 checkered flags remain before our final 6 for the Nitro Shootout are decided. Those drivers will go on to race the next 3 races post-cutoff. And whoever has the most points at the end of that will be your Thursday Night Nitro Series champion for season number 2. Another driver making up spots early, already up 8 spots. Make it 9 spots. That 15 Ford of Bennett Allen making it happen on the outside, getting a good draft off the 73 of Emerson. Single file as the field starts to spread out just a little bit. These drivers not going to be able to get too much separation from the drivers behind because of the strength of the draft effect with these ARCA Menard Series race cars that we're using for this season number 2 of the Thursday Night Nitro Series. So much like we saw at Pocono, if you happen to be here for that race, and thank you, race fans, if you were, these drivers are going to have to be very conscious of the moves they make. One wrong misstep, and someone else, and maybe several other cars, may take over your position if you lose momentum off the draft of that car in front of you. And some of these drivers are, as we've seen already several times, going to have to use each other in order to make passes, because occasionally single car passes will be very hard to make here at this racetrack with this particular setup package. As see back there for that 5th spot, things are hot in there. Sorry, 4th spot, that things are hot and heavy. Max Bauman's got Bennett Allen to his outside. Allen with a huge head of steam on the outside. He clears Bauman easily, move him up to the 3rd spot on the absolute top lane, making loads of time as Bennett Allen. A lot of drivers running that low to midline. First driver so far we've seen running that extreme top is that 15 car, and he is making it work as he goes to the inside of Kyle Nadeau for 2nd. Easily making that pass stick. We'll see if Kyle has an answer as they come off of turn 2. Momentum shifts as 15 just brushes the fence ever so slightly off of turn 2. It's still Kenny Reel leading the way here at Michigan. Once again to the extreme outside. The 15, the extreme low line, the 88. Momentum favoring the 15 as he gets help from the 97 down the front stretch. They are 3 wide behind for 5th place. Move that 63, Randall Peasley, up to 4th spot as he takes it over from Emerson. Emerson fighting back to the inside. Gets a fender alongside the 63. We'll see if he side drafts and attempts to pull Randall back. Not going to happen because Randall's got Max on his back bumper, pushing him up solidly into the 4th spot as Max takes a look to the inside. At Wonderbread, Talladega Nights theme soaring logos.com. Chevrolet looking mighty fine there in 4th spot. Blocks all over the place for Peasley in the 63. As a wreck happens up front, 88 involved. 38 involved. Miller, the 33 involved as well. Massive wreck in the mid-pack. Starting up front with the 88, we'll go back and see what happened to Kenny Reel to kick off that chain of events. Taking a look back at our Road Promotions replay cam, keep an eye on that number 88 right to the center of your screen, that yellow and red Chevrolet. Keeping an eye here, goes late block up in front of Kyle Nadeau. Looks like a bit of a self-inflicted wound for the 88 at Kenny Reel. Goes up to block the 97 just a little bit too late as Kyle had position there. Unfortunately, the Ohio State machine of Zach Miller, that 38 gets collected, as does the 4 and 33 in front. Eye on the 33 nearly sneaks by, but the 4 gets tagged, and chain reaction clips the back end of that 33 and sends him into the outside wall as well. Dalton Brewington just barely squeaking by. What a close shave for the number 7 Team Highlands Racing entry. Again, thanks so much, Rogue Promotions, for sponsoring this replay cam, catching every last bit of the action as we go throughout tonight's event and the remainder of the events through the season. Lead still lies in the hands of Bennett Allen and that number 15 Mustang. Kyle Nadeau, Max Bauman, several others going to hit pit lane. This gives us a bit of an opportunity tonight to go over our race tips for this evening. Pit speed on green flag pit stops. Don't have to worry about that right here. Still have to maintain pit lane speed, but much easier to hit that pit lane speed when you're already going relatively close to that speed during the pace laps. But green flag pit stops are going to be a key, hitting your marks in your pit box to make sure your pit crew doesn't have to move from their entry positions left or right to get to your tires or to fuel the car. You don't want to have them sidestep and reposition. If you're stopped right in the middle of your box, they can just plug in. They can get the lug nut gun right on there and hammer off a quick pit stop for you. But you got to be really good about getting down to pit lane speed, 55 miles an hour here at Michigan International. And you got to do it efficiently. You got to keep right on the edge of that speed limit all the way down pit lane. Even fractions of a second are going to mean a lot here. As we've seen already tonight, track position very important. Passes are hard to make, and they will only get harder to make throughout the evening as the intensity ramps up. Some of these drivers know what's on the line for them. And we'll be fighting tooth and nail for every last scrap of real estate here at the massive 2-mile complex in Brooklyn, Michigan. For any of you NASCAR fans out there, of course, the Real Life NASCAR Cup Series is expected to be at Michigan International Speedway this weekend. Yours truly will be attending as well. If you are such a race fan, it'd be a don't you go ahead and drop who you think's going to win the old Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan this weekend? I think you definitely keep an eye on those Fords. They always seem to find speed, whether it be real life or the virtual realm. As we see tonight so far with Bennett Allen. Definitely ones to keep an eye on when we come to the Irish Hills every single time. Those of you not familiar with Michigan International Speedway, pretty close to Detroit, just a few miles west in the farmland of Brooklyn, Michigan, with excellent campgrounds and awesome facilities that they maintain well. But each of the manufacturers, the car manufacturers, your Chevrolet, your Ford, your Toyota, being that they're so close to Detroit, you know, the home of the American automobile, they a little bit extra pride on the line for the ones who can take home the trophy here at Michigan. Well, the pace car is going to pull off here at lap number 13. We're stacking them up and getting ready to go green once again. Bennett Allen's going to lead them to the Geico restart zone here to kick off the second run of the race. A little bit of tire spin on the inside and check up. Bennett Allen gets away cleanly in that first position. The battle now for second with a bit of a block there for Peasley. Wiggins going to slot in right behind. Josh Emerson making big moves to the outside on this restart. Big head of steam on the outside. He's going to push the 63 through, as Max Baumann also follows them through. Like we said, you make one wrong move, you get out of line at the wrong time, and you might not just lose that one position that you were trying to pass for. You may lose several, as Alex Wiggins is learning here on lap number 14. A little bit of a block there for the 89. Tight quarters off a turn 4 for the 89 and the 63. Emerson's going to take advantage of that. He says, I'll take the inside lane. Thank you very much. You guys can play games. I'm just going to take the spot. Through now to P3 for Josh Emerson. Strong run so far tonight. Many drivers out already. Kyle Nadeau looks like is going to be retired for the evening. Mike Morkert out. Aaron Mack out as well. Zach Miller, take a look back at his race car. Not doing so hot. He's staying in the mix. He knows what's at stake. He's sitting fourth in the standings, just a few points above that cut line. And one of the guys he's competing for those points for is still sitting in the pits, getting his service done. And expect him back out on track. That, of course, being Greg Burchett in the 33, the one currently sitting 6th in points. Team Highlands, a racing duo, coming down pit lane for service now under the green flag. Back up front, Bennett Allen getting run down by the 89. 89 passed Emerson for second spot. Now he's got his set sights on the taillights of that Ford Mustang, leading the way. Bennett Allen joining the Thursday Night Nitro Series just a few races ago, but has been an absolute weapon every single race. Great speed shown at Pocono, at Lime Rock. Now here again at Michigan International. Leading the way here after 17 laps out of 90 laps in tonight's race. 180 miles here in the Irish Hills. Very fittingly wearing namesake city on the hood, Detroit. Baumann down to the inside. They're door-to-door through 1 and 2. Baumann with the head of steam at the 15 is going to get that momentum off the corner. Dead even still coming off of turn 2. Advantage to the 15. Baumann going to try to side draft a little bit. Running that bottom lane, definitely difficult to complete the pass. He might need a little bit of help for that 73, but right now he's under attack from the 63 of Peasley. Baumann able to clear. Let's see if the 15 hangs a crossover as they cross the start-finish line. Down towards turn 1 they go. 15 closing in on the rear end of the 89. These drivers might be thinking about long-term strategy as well. Some of them might be served well to tuck in and draft a bit off that lead car. Get a little extra speed down the straightaway. Might allow you to lift just a little bit earlier for the corner and save yourself from some fuel in the long run. Fuel strategy, definitely a possibility that will play into the winner of tonight's race. And who takes home those 3 bonus points towards the Nitro Shootout. Move Allen down one more spot as Emerson sends it around the outside of the 15. Move him up to P2 as Wiggins trails in 4th, just now getting to the inside of the 63 of Peasley. Peasley with momentum to the outside, trying to hang on to that 4th spot, but it's Wiggins still with the advantage into 1. Emerson goes around off the corner, expecting to see contact here. Caution flag is out on the racetrack. Second caution of the evening comes on lap number 21. We'll go ahead and look back at our Road Promotions replay cam. Keep an eye on the 73 and the 15 as they head through turns 1 and 2. Little bit tight on exit. 15 just gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 73. 73 a little bit low off the wall, but definitely can't fault him for that. Trying to pinch the car down to the inside and kill their momentum on the exit of the corner. Definitely normal part of racing strategy. Maybe just a bit of a misjudgment there by the 15, or an unwillingness to get off throttle, trying to influence him to go a little bit wider on the exit of that corner, just like he was trying to influence him to stay tighter that inside lane. Just a little bit of contact, nothing to be too angry about there. Both cars are going to continue without damage. Maybe a little damage to their pride, but other than that, we can move past that. So, with that taking out the second and third place cars, sending them to the rear of the field, it's going to be the 89 inheriting the lead. Max Bauman's going to lead the way, followed by what looks to be the 39 of Dalton Buckingham. And most of the field on pit lane right now taking fuel and tires. We'll see how that shakes out once they back behind our Ford Mustang pace car and all lined up for the restart. Big movers so far today. Bennett Allen up 12 spots from the race start, from where he qualified. Dalton Buckingham, if he rides it out here in second place, currently sitting 11 spots up from his starting position. And Alex Wiggins up 2 and 4th. Josh Emerson plus 5 in 5th place. Several cars one lap down. We'll go ahead and put that on the board for you. Currently Kenny Reel, Andy Alt, Randall Peasley, Brad Yake all sitting 1 lap down. Zach Miller 3 laps down. Brewington 4 laps down. Greg Burchett still trying to get damage repairs on that number 33 machine and getting all the points he can for the day after that lap 17 incident. Currently going another lap down as the pace car makes its way down towards turn 1 past pit lane. Max Baumann going to elect to take the outside lane on this restart. Buckingham slots into the inside lane. Expecting a lot of speed to be made here on that outside lane. We got Wiggins starting outside second row. We know he's not afraid to push that lead car past that inside lane. It's not only about how fast you are, it's how fast you can make other people. Because sometimes you got to use the guy in front of you as a tool. You want to make forward progress and somebody in the inside's being annoying, hey, link up with that guy in front of you on the outside. Give him a good shove down the straightaway and get you both a good dose of extra speed and make that momentum happen on the outside lane. Very dynamic racetrack here at Michigan International Speedway. Very wide racetrack. No stranger to seeing 3 and 4 wide passes. Tonight is no exception. So far this evening, quite a few passes for the lead already. Looking for that 1 to go signal as they come across the start-finish line this time. Max Baumann so far tonight showing why he's the points leader at present. She's currently showing the way on the racetrack as well. Alex Wiggins playing catch-up in that 3rd place in points. He is inching closer to that points lead conversation, and he's already stacked up 2 wins this season. I'm sure he'd love to add a 3rd to that to improve his championship seeding once those drivers are established for that final 6. Any race wins will accumulate 3 bonus points apiece, so he could potentially have a 9-point jump on the rest of the drivers should he be able to find victory lane tonight. 2 more chances to claim those bonus points this week at Michigan. Next week, next Thursday night, will be Darlington. The Lady in Black down in Darlington, South Carolina. I believe a pretty fitting racetrack to have a cutoff at. It is a very challenging racetrack. Very, very hard to make passes. Kind of an oblong racetrack. One corner, a very different diameter than the other. Turns 1 and 2 wide and sweeping. Running that high lane right up against the fence. Probably scraping the wall several times throughout the race. These drivers are going to be beating the fenders off these cars. And I am excited to see the action. I hope you are as well. Pace car pulls off. Max Baumann will lead him to the Geico restart zone here on lap number 25. Big stack up on that inside lane. Bit of confusion in the back. Baumann clears easily. The battle now for second. Alex Wiggins clears Dalton Buckingham on the outside, with Josh Emerson following him through for 3rd. That battle for 3rd over just as quickly as it started, as we got Peasley and Bennett both on the outside, or Peasley and Allen both on that outside lane trying to make something happen. The 39 throwing blocks left and right, trying to keep him back there. Peasley down to the bottom, painting that yellow line. Slides it up in front of the 39. The 15 with a big head of speed goes from the top lane down underneath Peasley. He's fighting for that 4th spot now. Peasley to the outside. Bennett Allen to the inside in that 15 Ford Mustang. Peasley with the momentum on that high lane, keeping that engine wound up, making prime power all the way around this racetrack. Allen trying to hold off the advances of the 39 behind him, trying to use that front bumper of the trailing car to get a little bit extra draft, get any last bit of speed he can get to get momentum on the 63, but Peasley is on a mission. He's got 3 cars in front of him poking a hole in the air. He's tucking up right up under behind the back bumper, the 73 of Emerson. He's hungry for that 3rd spot. Not going to get it. 15 dives to the inside off return 2. doesn't quite have the momentum to make that happen. Peasley back to the outside as 15 navigates the inside lane. Peasley now to the outside of Emerson. See if he's got the momentum to clear him off of 4. Still side by side as they come down toward the start-finish line. Peasley going to clear for 3rd place now. The 11 of Wiggins flashing a little bit, having some network issues in the 11. Hopefully does not affect the racing too much. Seeing the issue with a couple of these drivers now. That should stabilize after a moment or two. Still leading the way, Max Bauman in the 89. Hot on his tail is the 11 of Alex Wiggins, followed by Peasley. Peasley having a season best day so far in the 63. They must have nailed the setup on that car because he has got all sorts of speed this afternoon. Down towards turn 1. We got a 5-car train charging hard down into turn 1 and 2. Spreading out toward the rear. 15's finally going to shift up to that high lane. He's going to try to make something work as he's on the outside of Peasley now, shoving that 73 Emerson by. Move the 15 back up to that 4th spot. We see him back up, assuming that uppermost lane on the racetrack, making speed, and it is paying off already. Easily he's going to clear Emerson for 3rd place, and he's going to look on the outside of the 11. He's going to push him for now. Wiggins mirror driving. He takes that extreme outside lane as well. Now he's going to cut down and try to pinch him off on exit. Wiggins defends successfully for that 2nd spot. He's got the momentum to challenge for 1st now. Gets on that left rear quarter panel to 89. Side drafting, pulling that 89 back to him. That he does. Kills the momentum of Bauman. Bauman now starting to fall back into the clutches of the 15, who's got a massive run coming off of turn 4. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Will he make it 3 wide to the middle? We got Wiggins to the inside, Bauman to the outside. 15's going to push Bauman around the 11, and the 11's going to go from 1st to 5th, just down the length of the front straightaway. Could be the 11 just didn't want any part of that. Could be he just chose the wrong moment to try to make that happen. Now he faces the possibility of losing the draft of those lead cars. We'll see if he can hang it in there. He's looking for the draft off the 63. Looks like he's safe for now. Gets within 2 car lengths of the back bumper of Peasley. Now we got Bauman pushing the 15 and the 73 right behind him. 1st through 3rd, nose to tail, as we navigate through lap number 33 at Michigan. Bit of a checkup there for Peasley. He's going to lose that spot because of it. Wiggins puts a slide job off of turn 2. Peasley in the fence. Peasley reacts a little bit awkwardly to that one, and he ends up putting the right front of his race car in the wall. That cannot be good for the aerodynamic performance of that race car. See if he's able to recover as we continue throughout this race. Still running P5, by no means a bad position to be in, as this foursome comes by the wounded number 88 of Kenny Reel to put him back a lap down. Allen actually able to get some breathing room, but it is going to be short-lived. The 73 and the 89 both nose to tail down that backstretch, able to make up several car lengths in short order. We'll see what they're able to do. These cars are a little challenging to draft with once you get an odd number of race cars. They kind of like to pair up or work better in even numbers, it does seem like. If you get 2 cars drafting behind one, it's for some reason seems to disrupt the flow. Much as we saw at Pocono, the lead car would be able to step out by a few car lengths, and the 2 behind him just could not close that gap. It's a bit of a change of racing line for the 15. He's down painting the yellow line just above the apron through 3 and 4. The rest of the cars behind are going to follow suit. Another thing to take in consideration for the strategy in this race is that line you're running. Running the extreme outside lane at a racetrack as large as Michigan, 2 full miles, technically a super speedway. You will use extra fuel going around the outside as opposed to the inside lane. And perceive quite a bit of difference in distance, especially given how wide the turns are here at Michigan. 5 lanes wide. They're running a significantly longer distance around the outside lane as opposed to the inside. Speaking of the inside, Max Baumann shows the nose to the inside of the 15. Let's see if it costs him. Emerson's going to get a good run coming off of turn 2. What's he going to do? Is he going to try to make a pass as well? He's got help behind him in the 11 of Wiggins. He looks inside, not quite going to send it to the inside yet. I think he's happy where he's at currently, not looking to shake things up too much. The 11 is not afraid of such things, though. He's going to send it to the outside of Emerson for that 3rd spot. And cruises right on by. Several drivers looking for that free pass. Should we see another caution flag come out in the near future? Brad Yake currently stands to benefit from the lucky dog free pass. Should we see a caution? He's the first car 1 lap down, followed by Dalton Buckingham. Kenny Reel continues to drop back. That race car just does not have any speed left in it with the damage inflicted earlier on in the race. Dalton Brewington with a speeding penalty on pit lane earlier. That's why he is currently running 4 laps behind this lead pack. As you see the leader, Bennett Allen, getting to the fence a little bit off of turn 2. That's going to open up the door for everybody, pretty much. We got the 11 to the inside, 89 to the outside. 11 suffering from internet connectivity issues once again. The 15, will he stick 3 wide? Not going to have the opportunity because Wiggins is going to shut that door on him. Across the stripe now, completing lap number 40. 5 laps until that halfway point. Currently, Alex Wiggins out front. Allen slots back into 2nd place with Baumann on the outside. Looking for that 2nd spot. Allen's going to squeeze him off the exit at 2. 73 going to take the advantage. Will he have the momentum to complete that pass? It's going to be a stretch as he drifts up a little bit high, gets right up on the door of Baumann as they cross through 3 and 4. Baumann to the outside, Emerson to the inside. Baumann with the momentum. Emerson side drafting just a little bit, trying to stay with him, but he's going to have to slide in line, back in 4th spot for now. Alex Wiggins back out front. Go ahead and take a look at the onboard for just a moment. Right on the roll bar camera. Of the number 15 car. As he assumes the lead, Alex Wiggins drops back a couple spots. He's now back in 4th position. Racing so far has turned out to be a bit of a high-speed, high-stakes game of leapfrog for this top spot so far, changing every couple laps as we go for this lead pack of race cars. Jumping back on board with Max Baumann, your points leader, as he attempts to run down the 15. If you're enjoying what you see tonight and would like to get in on the action, go ahead and check out the Thursday Night Nitro series on Facebook. Go ahead and send our admin, Zach Miller, that number 38, you see out on track each week. He runs the show around here. Go ahead and send him a Facebook message if you'd like to get involved, and he will get you all set up and ready to race. We've got some great prizes on the line this season. $100 Lionel Racing gift card. We've got signed Richard Petty, number 43 die cast, courtesy of the driver of the number 63 Randall Peasley. Thank you so much for that, sir. Big lift there for the 89. The car got real tight coming off of turn 2. That's going to allow the 73 to the inside as the 15 to Allen continues to step away. Tight battle back for second. Allen somehow able to clear all three of these guys, drafting nose to tail pretty hard, but unable to make up the ground. We'll see what they've got for him. Each of them trying to make a pass. You might wonder if they're better off kind of working together for the time being and staying within reach of that number 15. Bauman 2 car lengths out on the 11 of Wiggins, followed by Josh Emerson in that 4th spot. So you put the number 4 car, Andy Alt, another lap down. Sorry, 1 lap down. He's not yet, was not yet on a lap down. Now it's going to be a battle of teammates to get that lucky dog position. Both Alt and his teammate Brad Yake sitting 1 lap down, trying to be the first car 1 lap down. Right front tires start to go away on these race cars, as we saw much of the same problem as we saw Max Bauman have a couple laps ago. Happened to Alex Wiggins there. Got real tight coming off of turn 2 and just barely brushed the wall. Race cars starting to become a handful, especially when you're following that lead car. That's going to take air off your nose and take away some of that precious downforce you need to take these corners at such high speeds. Drivers will be closing in on their second round of pit stops soon. Last pit stop for most of these cars was lap number 22 as we crossed to start-finish line to complete lap number 47. Expect that pit window to open in just a few more laps. Drivers will be happy to get fuel and especially some fresh General Tire rubber on these race cars. Good mix of manufacturers up front. We got a Ford leading the way in front of a Chevy, followed by a Toyota of Max Bauman in third. Past the halfway point now, crossing through to lap number 50. Wiggins playing mind games with Allen up front. Shows the nose for just a moment, trying to get a reaction, then ducks back in behind the 15 as they head down to turn 1. He gets a nose to the left rear quarter panel of the 15. He's going to pull him backwards with the side draft. Off of turn 3, it's turn 2, it's going to be 3 wide. Max Bauman to the inside. Wiggins in the middle. Emerson up top is going to push the 15 through with a big shot down the backstretch. Emerson still to the outside. He's looking to clear the 11 for that second spot. Move the 73 up to P2 yet again. Bauman says, we're not done yet. Should I try to make the pass by myself or push this 11 car through? Game of leapfrog continues as the 11 heads down to the inside through turns 1 and 2. Disappears for a second as the 73 scrubs the fence. Bit more of a scrub that time. Hit it pretty hard there coming off of turn 2. That's going to allow Max Bauman to get a look on the inside and allow Wiggins to handily take over that second spot. Greg Burchett currently back in that number 11 spot, pretty uncontested by the his surrounding peers for that 6th place spot. Barry Knapp and Crank Bell both on either side of him in the point standings right now. Not necessarily indicative of where these drivers are going to finish. Each driver does get a drop week that they may elect to use during the regular season, and that week will be calculated before the final 6 are seeded for the championship after the checkered flag falls next week at Darlington. Allen still out front, but the 73 and 11 are reeling him in. 73 liking that outside lane, keeps getting up behind the 11, lost a little bit there on the entry to 1. Hard to make that race car stick in the corner. It's bad enough when you get one car taking the air off the nose, but when you get 2 cars stacked up in front of you, both denying you downforce on the front end of this race car, it gets very hard to hold that car down to the line that you want to run. All 4 now guarding the bottom. The 89 of Bauman looking for a way by, but he's covered off by Emerson. A little bit of a bump there by the 89 heading in the corner. Not sure if he appreciated that block down the front stretch. These drivers definitely could see some irritation at one another, the way tight quarters racing happens and the few blocks we've seen. Some quite aggressive so far tonight. On board with Emerson, Bauman to his inside door as they come across the start-finish line for lap number 57. Max Bauman last in on pit lane, lap number 11, so he is carrying less fuel on that race car than the rest of these drivers. We'll see how long he's able to make it. We see the 1 and the 7 both hit pit lane for another stop. Max Bauman wrapping the inside lane. We'll see if he comes in this time. He is going to duck down a pit lane. Big slide as he's getting on the calipers, trying to get that Toyota Camry slowed down for pit lane. Like we mentioned, trying to maximize every possible bit of time. That includes getting down to pit lane speed, carrying as much speed before that line as you can without carrying too much once you get to that yellow commitment cone. Do not want a pit lane speeding penalty taking you out of contention today. Bauman down pit lane, now off pit lane. As you see, the forces the hand of the other leaders. They're going to come down pit lane now, down to 55 miles an hour. Careful not to speed. Drivers also going to have to be aware of going through too many pit boxes and not staying to the right side. They could incur penalties from that as well. Perfectly centered in the pit box for the 15. Wiggins rolls it in a little deep in the pit box. We'll see if that affects his time on pit lane as they come back on the racetrack in a bit. But right now, Josh Emerson's going to lead the way. Kenny Reel fighting for a lap back. He's right up behind the back bumper, that number 73 Chevrolet, trying to find his way by. I believe he will get in the near future anyways, as the 73 is going to need to come down for pit service very soon. Emerson going to duck out of the way. Let Reel come on by. That tells me he's probably going to come down pit lane this time by from that lead. On the brakes now. Cruising down onto the apron, down to pit lane. That 55 miles an hour comes Josh Emerson in the 73. Bennett Allen just entering turn 3. Sorry, just coming off of turn 2. Pardon me, I'm just lost. And we see that little bit of a deep pit box entry might have cost Wiggins just a little bit. 15 has a few additional car lengths advantage than they had coming into the pit lane. Crossing the stripe now. Expect these two to assume that first and second spot, and they do. Max Baumann lost big on this set of pit stops now, 13.2 seconds behind. Going to make an assumption that Max Baumann may have taken may have taken 4 tires, whereas this top 3 may have taken 2. They just took right side. So your pit lane time for first through third positions, that's the 15, the 11, and the 73, is 43.12 for the 15, 42.85, and 43.65. Max Baumann his total pit time was 55.7 seconds on that pit stop. That is from the commitment cone, entry pit commitment cone to the exit line of pit lane. So that's their total time spent on pit lane, not just the pit stop itself, but an extra 12 seconds there for Max Baumann. Still able to make up time on the leaders. You see that gap continuing to shrink, though. 13.3 just a short time ago. Now down towards 13.2, so still making a little bit of time on the leaders. See if he's able to continue to close that gap as the race goes on. Emerson lost out a little bit. His stop ever so slightly longer. We saw 43.65 compared to Wiggins' 42.85, so about an extra second spent on pit lane. And extra 1 second on pit lane translates to a lot larger margins on the racetrack. These cars going 180 miles an hour cover a lot more ground in 1 second than somebody on pit lane does going 55 miles an hour. As it stands right now, we're just under 30 laps to go. It'll be 25 laps to go as they cross the stripe next time by. If things remain as they are now, the battle for the lead currently between the 15 and the 11 out front. Emerson falling off of this lead duo, as well as Max Baumann, 7 and 13 seconds behind, respectively. And those are the only 4 cars on the lead lap at present. Peasley and Buckingham both 1 lap down. Field very spread out this evening. Not likely to see another caution. But as a race fan, I wouldn't mind seeing one. Bunch these guys up and let them go at it. We had some excellent racing earlier with the 4 of these drivers just making pass after pass after pass for that lead, taking advantage of every little minute error that the driver in front would make. These guys were scheming and planning, taking advantage of it. Some of these drivers may wish they were still on the lead lap. Still a respectable run for a lot of these guys. Peasley running P6 currently. Keep in mind, all these guys still inside the top 10. Peasley, Alt, Yake, Brewington, and Real all still running inside the top 10, despite being several laps down. As a racer, you definitely want to be right there and in contention with everybody else, you know, in sight of your competition. Have something to chase. But it's not always the case. It does not mean that you didn't have a good run. These drivers showed out really well earlier on in this race. Peasley mixing it up in the top 3 for quite a few laps earlier on. Doing our title sponsor, SoaringLogos.com, proud, and that number is 63 Chevrolet. Taking a look back, there's a gap here. Looking at the 39 and the 63. They're both currently 1 lap down. There's your gap, about 2 seconds on the racetrack. Peasley with a little bit of right side damage after hitting the wall earlier. We'll see if he has enough steam left in that race car to get up there and take that 5th spot back from Dalton. Could be crafty and maybe... Let's see, when did Peasley last come in for pit service? Lap number 58. So he's about on the same as everyone else. He might be able to make it to the end. Miller not having a great day. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to Greg Burchett. Currently running 12th, 18 laps down in pit lane for more repair service. Out front battle rages on as Wiggins goes down to the inside. Turns 1 and 2 is able to clear Allen for that lead. Mentioned this was going to be the battle, and so it has become. We saw Allen was pretty able to hold about a 5-car length gap to the 11, but Wiggins must have found something to give him a bit of an advantage because he is handily able to clear the 15 on the inside, and he begins to pull away. Down towards turn 1. 15 of Allen closes that gap. Down to 1 car length as they exit turn 2 and closing. Drivers searching all over the racetrack. Lead car always mirror driving. Eyeballs more so in the mirror than out the front of the race car. Trying to block that Trying to deny that clean air from the nose of the car behind to try to make him not handle as well and have to spend more time off throttle. Allen down to the inside. He's going to clear Wiggins off of turn 2 for another swap of the lead here on lap number 73. Down the back straight into 3 and 4. Car length gap still stands at 2 and now increasing as 15 gets a good run through the center of the corner. Now gap 3 car lengths as they come off the corner. 15 taking advantage of that 33 in front of him, getting a little bit of draft, help him out as they head down towards turn 1. Wiggins does the same. Wiggins with a massive closing rate into turn 1. He picks up about 2 car lengths on entry to the corner. Let's see if he can hold that momentum coming off of 2. Both these drivers vying for that top spot, and you might think, well, you know, can't you just ride till closer to the end? Well, if, for instance, a caution were to come out before the end of the race, the leader gets lane choice on the restart. And if I'm any of these drivers, I'm going to want that outside lane for that restart, because that outside lane gets a lot of momentum. As you see, the corner exit speed is a lot higher for the car that's on the outside, as opposed to that car running the bottom. The bottom has to shave off a little more speed, and while it may be faster through the middle of the corner, coming off the corner, you have to make up for that speed loss, and the outside lane still has that thing pretty much pinned to the floor. Put Peasley another lap down. He's now 2 laps down to the leaders. Buckingham just ahead will follow suit shortly as these two close in rapidly. Trying to break that draft is the 15 down to the inside on the back stretch, trying to shake some of that draft off the 11 so he can't close up onto the rear end. I don't think that's going to affect too much. The 11 closes regardless, shaving another car length off through 3 and 4. 15 weaving back and forth, trying to deny the draft. Wiggins 1.5 car lengths back. He's down on the middle lane. It's the 15 of Allen up high. Off for turn 2, car length gap still stands at 1.5 car lengths. 15 ducks down yet again, trying to deny air off of the 11. Good mid-corner there, speed there for the 15. Can he hold that momentum coming off the corner? Gap now 4 car lengths as they come off the turn 4 down toward the start-finish line. Good speed out of the 15. That lap was 1/10 of a second faster than the 11. He found something good there, and we'll see a little bit more of a speed pickup. Maybe he picks up a little more of a gap once he hits that draft on the 39 car. Almost within range. The 63 might put a wrench in things because he's closing in on the back of the 11, which is going to help that 11 and get a run down the straightaway. Taking a look back at Wiggins just behind. A big help that was. A little bit of air taken off that spoiler by Peasley allowed that 11 to slip through and get right back on the bumper of the 15 just like that, from 5 car lengths down to half. Battles on for the lead again as they head down into turn 1. Wiggins to the inside. Bennett still holds the outside. Momentum favoring the outside again. Wiggins going to slot in behind the 15 as they head down the back straight. Draft off the 39 car just ahead, starting to play into effect. Allows the 15 to pull a couple car lengths on the 11 that time by. We'll see if he can maintain it off of 4. Using a wider exit, the 15 car. 11 kept it tight to the inside that time by. Big corner entry speed there for Wiggins. He closes in yet again. Still 1.5 car lengths as they come off of turn 2. Might have had to lift a little bit. Gap spreading out. Now about 3 car lengths behind the 15. The 63 is coming back into the picture, though. About a car length behind these race cars. If he closes in within a car length of the 11, he will be helping to push that 11 car forward. You can imagine these race cars are producing a bubble, a large bubble of air. They're pushing out in front of them as they go along. It's a little bit exaggerated on these particular race cars. So see the 15 tag the fence with the right rear quarter panel just a little bit. That's going to allow Wiggins to close in within a half. They produce a bit of a bubble in front of the race car, so if you get your bubble close enough to the rear spoiler of the car in front, you'll actually be taking air off of that spoiler, reducing the downforce, and therefore thus kind of creating a DRS effect for those of you familiar with Formula One, allowing them to more effectively cut through the air because they don't have the resistance on the rear spoiler of the race car anymore, or at least much less than they would otherwise have. Oh, contact through 1 and 2, 11 into the door of the 15. They're side by side still down the backstretch. Battle heating up now with 9 laps to go at Michigan International Speedway. Side by side still through 3 and 4. Allen trying to get to the right rear quarter panel of that 11 and drag him back using that side draft as good as possible. He's able to do so. He may just clear for the lead, and he does from the high line down to the low lane. He says, I'm using the most effective way I know. I'm going to cut down in front of the 11, take away that clean air. Excellent driving by everybody so far tonight, and it is heating up here for the lead. 11 starting to fall a little bit behind. That 63 still back there is a bit of a fallback, though. That draft off the nose of the 63 seems to be helping that 11 rebound as he tries to make these pass attempts. Gets a little bit farther behind, gets a little bit of help from the 63, and is able to mount enough momentum to make another charge at the lead. I mention each week bonus points awarded for having a clean race. That is 2 bonus points for the driver that can accomplish that. Is no incidents or contact with other drivers or the wall or any off tracks to speak of. Currently the only driver in contention this weekend is the number 89 of Max Baumann, so he stands to further increase that points lead or nullify any gains that Wiggins might make if he can keep it clean for the next 6 laps of the race. Big block there for the 15. He cuts down in front of Wiggins. Wiggins to the outside. Late block there by the 15. Gets into the nose. Keeps it barely under control. As you see him getting all sorts out of shape up top. They're side by side through 1 and 2. Off of turn 2. It's going to be the advantage to the 15. Momentum to the 15. Wiggins going to slot in behind. Closing in on 5 laps to go next time by. This race is heating up. You see a little bit of right rear damage on that 15 from that late block. Will that affect how fast he is in that race car? 11 seems to be more easily staying with him this time. Last time we saw the 15 get clear, it was like shutting a giant wall of air on the 11. We saw him lose about 3 car lengths. Did not happen this time. Wiggins able to stay right with him on the inside. That aero damage on the right rear of the 15 might be affecting him here in the final stages of the race. Still great momentum on the outside of that race car, damaged as it may be. These drivers giving it all they can, looking for any sliver of advantage they can take advantage of. 15's going to crowd the 11 down, going to put a block on. Wiggins says, I'm not putting up with it this time. If you wreck yourself off my nose, it's not my fault. Wiggins to the inside. Bullies the 15 to the outside with a bit of a threatening jerk to the right there. Side by side, dead even through 1 and 2. 11 trying to keep it off the 15's quarter panel as it head down the back straight. 15 going down, searching for the draft off of the lap car, the 4. 11 follows suit, diving down to the inside of the racetrack. 11 still feeding off that bottom, getting some clean air on the nose of that race car. Gets to the right rear quarter panel of the 15, looking to side draft. 15 says, okay, we'll play that game. I'll pin you down behind the 4. Leaning on each other as they come down the start-finish line, down the front straight. We got 3 laps to go here at Michigan, and things are still heating up. You didn't think it could get any more intense. The 11 gets loose off of turn 2 that time. Did not think that was possible with these race cars at this track. Drivers fighting tight all night, but the 11 made it happen. He kicked the tail end out on that race car. 15 is going to give him the entry to the corner. We see him tuck in. He's going to go for the crossover off of turn 4 to the inside. Bennett Allen outside. Alex Wiggins. Allen with the advantage. He's got momentum as they cross the start-finish line. Two to go here at Michigan. Down to 1 and 2 yet again. 15 to the inside. 11 to the outside. Door to door as they come off of turn 2. Will the 11 have the momentum advantage, or can the 15 hold it there? Wiggins still holding that lead. Bennett Allen, half a car length behind and closing. Sends it to the inside in 3 and 4. Dead even. Going to have to lift a little bit here. 11 comes down, tries pinning him to the bottom of the racetrack. They're leaning on each other yet again as they come across the start-finish line for the final lap. White flag in the air from our flagman. Side by side, dead even and down to turn 1 and 2. It is Bennett Allen and Alex Wiggins duking it out here for the win at Michigan International Speedway. Ford versus Chevrolet. It's a classic NASCAR battle here on the final lap. Side by side, still down the back straightaway. It's Wiggins with the advantage. 15 closing on the inside. He sends it down the inside. Wiggins to the high side, coming through 3 and 4. Wiggins with the advantage. They're leaning on each other yet again, coming off of turn 4. 15 puts the 11 in the fence. 11 responds. Doors him coming down to the start-finish line. The 15 dumps him for the win. We'll have to see if race control allows that to stand. We're all for beating and banging on doors, but intentional wrecking, we'll see what the stewards have to say about that one. I think Alex Wiggins might have just gotten robbed there. I know it's Detroit, but that was a bit of a mugging. As it stands now, Bennett Allen with the race win over Alex Wiggins very narrowly. Third place was Josh Emerson in that 73 with Max Bauman in the 89. In P4, Randall Peasley able to get around Dalton Buckingham for that 5th position at the end of the race. So top 5 for the number 63. Buckingham, as we mentioned, finishes P6. Brad Gake, P7. Andy Alt, P8. Dalton Brewington rounds out the Team Highlands entries in P9. Kenny Reel brings his injured race car home in P10, with Greg Burchett gaining 1 spot over Zach Miller for 11th. Zach Miller 12th. Kyle Nadeau out of the race early 13th. Mike Morkrid 14th. And Aaron Mack rounds out the field in 15th position. Well, if you're still hanging in there with us, feel free to stick around because it's not quite over yet. We'll hear what these drivers have to say about that finish. And we'll get your first or third place finishers in the booth for interviews in just one moment. So sit tight. In the meantime, go ahead and mention our sponsors. Of course, SoaringLogos.com is our series sponsor for the remainder of this season number 2 here, the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Thank you so much to SoaringLogos.com for coming on board. Be sure to check them out for any custom promotional merchandise you may need for your business, events, or anything else you need, really. They have a lot of different options, all within a great price range, and quite a few options made in the USA as well. So be sure to check them out. Once again, that is SoaringLogos.com. And thanks so much to our sponsor, of our replay cam and our poll award. That's Rogue Promotions. Getting us hooked up every week with that Rogue replay cam. So go ahead and check them out as well at roguepromos.com. That's ROGUE promos.com. Also offering an excellent variety of promotional marketing products. Glad to have them on as a series partner for the remainder of this season. And of course, thank you as well to Track Racer. Go ahead and check them out at Track Racer. That's TRAK Racer.com for high quality sim, racing sim, flight sim, gear, accessories, anything you can imagine there to take your simulation experience to the next level. They have all sorts of really high quality stuff, whether it be extruded aluminum rigs, tube frame rigs, pedal stands, monitor stands, motion kits. They even sell turnkey simulators. If you don't want to have any of the hassle of the setup, you can just go buy a turnkey simulator, jump on in, and get to racing. So thanks so much for Track Racer as well. All right, looks like we got our drivers queued up in the green room. We will bring them in just a moment. All right, just a moment. We'll get a word with Josh Wiggins, driver of the number 73 Chevrolet. Josh Wiggins. Josh Emerson. Pardon me, trying to divide my attention too many directions. Getting these guys in here. All right, Josh Emerson, your third place finisher for this evening, driver of the number 73 Chevrolet. Josh, how you feeling after what proved to be a pretty long and grueling Michigan race?
Yeah, I mean it was a good race. I got out of the draft after the pits, and then Kenny, who was a lap down, pushed me up there. We were catching up at the end, but didn't have enough for him at the end. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. We saw for quite some time just that lead foursome, well, even six cars earlier on before a couple more guys fell off after that unfortunate contact up towards the front of the field. Had quite a few lead swaps in very short succession. What do you think played the key into being able to maintain the lead, or was it kind of luck? Was it who was playing well with you?
Yeah,
You know, did you have to have a friend?
yeah, yeah. I mean, they got it really driving like a super speedway here with these cars. So I mean, yeah, you got to just stick with the draft, and you just back and forth, back and forth. It's just pretty much you got to stay on the high side, otherwise you lose the draft. And yeah, I mean that was really it. Just stick in the draft, stay on the high side. Don't get down low too long unless you can make a run at it. But yeah, that was about it, man. Just stick with the draft. Make sure you don't stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we had quite a few drivers doing that all night, and it was entertaining to watch, to say the least. I mean, 3-4 lead changes per lap in some cases. Was hopefully as fun to drive as it was to watch, and I imagine it would have been with quite a lot of passes like that. And we see quite a few guys out there. We see that same skill set, as you said, that the super speedway guys, the guys who find themselves up front for super speedways, found themselves contending for the win here at Michigan as well. So yeah, great race for you. Ran up front pretty much the whole time. You mentioned getting separated from that draft a little bit and have a little bit of an issue on the pit stop there at the end.
Yeah. I should have pit when they did. I thought I could go a little while longer. I had somebody pushing me, and then it was just so tight, it was undrivable. So I decided to pit a few laps afterwards. And yeah, they were they had a good run going. They were probably 7 seconds, 8 seconds ahead of me when that happened. So, and I didn't have any drafting partners except for a guy that was left down with some damage right away, but he fixed it and then he pushed me the rest of the way. So,
I see Kenny giving you a good push there at the end, watching that
yeah,
on the replay here on the
absolutely.
broadcast. So shout out to Kenny for being a good competitor
Absolutely.
there, helping out. We saw that on a couple occasions. You had Peasley getting in the mix as well for that lead battle toward
Yeah.
the end. So help came in some unexpected places, but I think it made for an even better race at the end. But congratulations on a solid day. P3, definitely nothing to be upset about, and hopefully you had as much fun today as we did.
Yeah, it was a blast. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Josh. That's your third place finisher for tonight. Josh Emerson, driver of the number 73. Thanks for your time. All right, now comes the fun interviews. Gonna go ahead and get our second place finisher in here and get his thoughts. That, of course, going to be the driver of that number 11 Chevrolet. That's Alex Wiggins. All right, so close yet so far. We'll have to see if that ruling stands. We'll get with race control and stuff after the race and see what happens. But what was your take? We saw you guys leaning on each other probably for the entire last 5 laps. Every time you came off turn 4, you guys were just door to door leaning on each other every time. And while it was entertaining, you know, a bit of a heartbreak at the same time, bittersweet feeling at the end there for you as you got spun right before the start finish line. Take us through that last couple laps and your take on the whole thing.
Yeah, second again. How ironic's that? Um, I don't know. I counted probably 5 or 6 times where he either blocked me about 5 times on one straightaway or pinched me so far I didn't have a chance to get off the corner, and I had enough. Tried to be clean, and then got drove into the wall and hooked. So, I don't know. You probably have a better viewpoint than I do.
Yeah, definitely controversial to say the least. As a bystander, not wanting to make any definitive statements, but I would
Yeah.
definitely say you got the short end of the stick there. We had a good door banging drag race coming off of 4, and then it just kind of devolved the closer we got to the start finish line, and we see the result there. But up until that point was a really entertaining race for the rest of us. So I mean, as always, credit where credit is due. You guys raced it out to the end. It was really entertaining. I could see some frustration because there was a lot of blocking and stuff towards the end of the race coming from everybody that we hadn't seen earlier on. And I know it's a bit of a frustrating track to make passes at, but overall, you had a solid race. I didn't really expect you to get back to him. It seemed like whenever he got that lead, he would pull about a 5-car length gap. We see you had a little bit of help from Peasley behind you. Every time you'd send it to the inside, you lose a couple car lengths, but then Pease would take the air off your spoiler, and you'd kind of be able to get right back up there. So take us through your run to make that initial pass before the end there.
Yeah, the whole last run was really. I felt like I was way quicker than him. I was having some internet issues, so I didn't want to get up there with him. That's kind of why that gap formed. I felt like I was a decent ways quicker the whole race. If all that got sorted out earlier, I would have got around him, and hopefully the end of the race wouldn't ended that way. But yeah, the whole race was pretty good. The first run, just trying to manage with a little bit of chaos, just trying to keep the tires under it. And yeah, that last run, I just took it easy the whole race and stayed with him. So if I had another couple laps, I should have been able to get him. But just sucks. So close.
So close indeed, and taking it gracefully as always. Definitely appreciate that. We watching actually on the replay as we're doing this interview had quite a few interesting moments. You see, tried pinning it down behind the 4-car, which fair play there. I think anyone would have taken that opportunity. But yeah, it did a good
that
way
wasn't going to stand.
Good job of squeezing yourself through there, and a good job by Andy to kind of realize the situation and keep that thing as close to the grass as he could.
That was hairy.
Like we said, very interesting and very entertaining at the end, to say the least. And hopefully you had a lot of fun throughout the whole thing, because we definitely had fun watching.
Yeah, thank you. It was good the whole race. Besides the couple cautions, it was a good time.
Well, we'll have to confer with the admins, the powers that be, on whether or not this stands. because there are, of course, three playoff points at stake for that race win. Obviously, the 15 wouldn't get him as he doesn't have the minimum required races, but definitely for you, you stand to gain should that outcome be changed. But once again, we'll have to have the admins go back and review, and we will definitely keep everyone up to date via Instagram, Facebook, and all that if that should change in the future. But overall, great race tonight. It was super entertaining watching you, especially when there was 4 or 5 of you up there just weaving in and out. You know, it was hard to call because things were happening so quickly in some instances.
I bet, yeah.
Just the lead changed every half lap, and it was really entertaining. So thanks again for a great race. Once again, sorry didn't work out quite the way you probably envisioned. I imagine you're becoming more and more of a Creed fan as each week goes by. But
Geez, don't do that to me.
But overall, you had the speed, had the execution that you needed on the pit stops and everything throughout the day, and kept yourself right in contention to the end. And that's really all you can do at the end of the day. So great run, and congrats on second.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate everything you do and all the admins. I think Justin, this is his last race with us doing race control, but just glad we're able to come out here and do this.
Yeah, for sure. That is your second place finisher, Alex Wiggins, driver of the number 11, coming very narrow second place yet again. Thanks for your time, Alex.
Yep, thank you.
All right. You've heard from the second place finisher. Now let's hear from the first place finisher, driver of the number 15 Ford Mustang, Bennett Allen. There we go. As we said, driver the number 15, winner of tonight's race at Michigan. Bennett, how you doing tonight after that very narrow victory? Maybe controversial to those watching.
Can you hear me? Hello? All right, there you go.
Now we got you.
I don't like winning races that way. Alex doesn't believe me when I said I didn't mean to wreck him there off the line. Over the years of me racing on iRacing, I have been known to be over aggressive and I race people the wrong way, and I pride myself on doing better at that. And so I don't like racing people the way I raced him tonight, so full apologies to him and his team. I've been starting to race people how they race me in iRacing, and yes, there was a couple blocks I threw that were probably borderline, and I am very gracious, very thankful that he didn't just turn me in the outside wall when I probably deserved it. But there was also a couple other times where he almost straight drove me into the fence, where he almost wrecked me, and he would drive down on my door, and so I raced people the way they raced me, and we were just racing hard. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it was. I'm not mad about it. I just feel like it was unfortunate that that's the way it ended. I just don't like cooking people. That's just not how I stand and how I carry myself as an iRacer and as a human being, and so I know it's wrong. And so whatever the admins decide, I'm okay with. Because, in my opinion, it's like Austin Dillon at Richmond. So, I just feel bad.
Definitely understandable, and glad to see that kind of respect for each other. Everything looked pretty reciprocal at the end there. We were definitely having a fun time watching you guys swap spots back and forth and leaning on each other. Everything seemed pretty even for the most part right until the end. But on a lighter note, overall, this race, you came up quite a few spots at the beginning of the race. Probably not the qualifying effort you were intending to have, but we saw you come up 11 spots through the field early on, and seemed to be able to cut through traffic better than most people. Did you have a bit of a plan of attack there as you went through the night, trying to make your way to the front? It seemed like you were probably able to navigate that traffic and hang on to it a lot better than most, much like we saw at Pocono. This race, visually, at least to us watching, looked very similar and how it played out to Pocono, where you couldn't really get a gap on everybody, and you kind of just had to be real tactful about the passes you chose to make, and just trying to keep yourself in the right position and not lose more than you gain.
Excuse me while I'm battling a sickness. Uh, I hate these kind of races. I don't like, not be able to get a gap when you're obviously faster than somebody. I don't like the setups being overly tight. Like I just don't. I'm so used to driving a car that has high horsepower, low downforce. In the last like 4 or 5 years, I'd say like ever since the next gen come out, every car kind of feels like that, except the Xfinity car. And I feel like the Aero model on the ARCA car is super duper unrealistic. Now, granted, when you watch ARCA, like not everyone's cars are even, but like if a Ventrini car, when it gets another Ventrini car, or whatever how you say their name, they're not going to have that kind of like they can't get away from each other. One's going to be able to get away from the other. And the same thing with like the Joe Gibbs cars that they field. So I hope that in the next update they kind of update the drafting physics. Because I do feel like I had the fastest card tonight. And I know qualifying didn't show that because I smacked the wall both laps. Um, but I hope they fix it because I don't like every track we go to feeling like it's a super speedway. And I know I missed Bristol. I bet Bristol was a fun race last week. I was taking a protestable iRacing break, but just me not liking the way people are driving on iRacing. And yeah, I come here tonight and drive the way like I did. So maybe I should take another break. But I just hope they fix the drafting model. I know that the next gen's getting a huge update this coming update, so hopefully it fixes some of my issues with the next gen car. But
Yeah, we'll definitely hope to see those changes, especially as they trickle down. They'll start with what runs the Coke series and everything, and hopefully those same changes, as long as they're good, will trickle down to the rest. Because I think these ARCA cars have potential to be really good. Like as we saw at like Kansas, if you get the setup right, the draft is still obviously a factor, and that is probably the biggest detriment to these cars. But like I see a lot of potential in these cars. That's not to say that we'll necessarily run them again, next season or anything. Especially with the new cars coming out, we'll have to test those out and see where that goes. But otherwise, I imagine people will probably want trucks or Xfinity again, just because those cars just drive so well. And
well, I think the truck cars are super realistic. Like they did a really good job on the trucks.
Yeah, I would agree.
And
with
I want to
that.
see that. I want to see that same treatment across all the main series.
Absolutely.
Like including ARCA. Like I hope this next gen update's good. And if it's not, I'm gonna riot. But I feel like the Xfinity cars race like they're supposed to, maybe a little bit less grip than they are in real life. And there's not really that give that they kind of have. And you can talk to the Xfinity drivers. Like I race with Parker Retzlaff every Monday, and you can ask him like it doesn't race the exact same. So I just want some extra try hard effort, and maybe with NASCAR 25 we'll get that. But who knows? I'm gonna hop off my soapbox. I know this broadcast probably needs to be wrapped up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hey, you earned it tonight with a solid run. Things could have been done differently, better, all that. But either way, we still had a really great race. We've got a lot of talent in this field. I tell you what, it's great to see you guys up there just duking it out like that. And that was one of the hardest fought battles I think we've seen all season.
Yeah, I just wish we could get more people to come out on Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm begging people on the broadcast every week. Hey, go to Instagram, go to the Facebook page for Thursday Night Nitro. Send a message to the admins, get yourself in here and join in on this because it's a blast. And hey, who doesn't want to see themselves broadcast? That's one of the nice parts about this. I enjoy doing that for this league, and being able to give these guys the well-deserved spotlight every week. So glad to see you at it once again. You got that number 15 wound up pretty good every time you come out on the track. You're right in there in contention, so congrats on another good run tonight, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, man. I just need more right rear. Like I just want to be loose. For the love of God, I just want to be loose. I appreciate you, Adam.
All right, that's your winner this evening, number 15, Bennett Allen. Have a good night.
Go Tigers.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up for this evening. That was your top 3 for the night. And that's your race winner right now on your screen. Number 15, Bennett Allen, takes it home here in the Irish Hills of Michigan, here at the Michigan International Speedway, conquering the 2-mile super speedway. It definitely raced like a super speedway and came down to beating and banging at the end, much like a super speedway would. And yeah, another exciting one here for the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Hoping to see you back here next week, same time, same place for Darlington Raceway. That is going to be the final race of the regular season, the results of which will set the stage for our Nitro Shootout playoff system. The top 6 will advance to the playouts. They will be reseeded in points according to the bonus points they've accumulated during the season and their finishing position in the regular season. Points will be awarded 10 points for the first place finisher in the regular season standings. Right now, that's looking to be pretty much wrapped up by Max Bauman. We'll see how it ends next week. Anything can happen, absolutely, especially at Darlington Raceway. But 10 points, descending down by 2 points to the 6th place driver, and after which point, any additional race win bonus points, that's 3 points for every race won. Those will accumulate on top of those points to set the final seeding for the top 6 drivers, who will then spend the next 3 races duking it out for a championship. We mentioned some of the prizes earlier. That's going to be their choice of a $100 Lino Racing gift card, a signed die cast from Richard Petty, the King himself, courtesy of Randall Peasley. And many other prizes will be raffled off at the end of the season as well. So even more incentive to jump in here. Once again, Thursday Night Nitro Series. Look them up on Instagram. Look them up on Facebook. Send a message. Get yourself involved. We'd love to see you out here on the racetrack with us. And I'd love to be saying your name right here on broadcast, seeing you bring it home in victory lane. But once again, we got to thank our series sponsors, that of course being SoaringLogos.com, our title sponsor for the Thursday Night Nitro Series. Thanks again to them. If you need any custom promotional marketing materials, custom events, event items, signs, posters, giveaway things, tumblers, you name it, they've got it, and they have a great selection of of items that are made in the U.S. as well. So if you're looking for something like that, go ahead and check them out at SoaringLogos.com. Thanks also to RoguePromos.com. That's Rogue Promotion, sponsor of our Pole Award and our Rogue Promos replay cam. Thanks to them for cutting in as a series partner for the remainder of this second season of Thursday Night Nitro Series. Check them out for more of a lot of the same items. They have a very broad selection of items to choose from. And as I say on their website, they are no holds promo. They have unlimited branding opportunities as wide as your imagination can come up with. They got apparel, they got bags, they got drinkware, they got event display signs, lanyards, pins and buttons, wristbands, custom towels, chairs, anything you think of, flashlights, tools, binders, custom awards, watches, gift sets, even some tech items. You should give away headphones, memory sticks, power banks. They have an absolutely massive selection of items that you could use to further your promotional presence in the business space. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, go ahead and check them out. They are a great partner. That is RoguePromos.com once again. And of course, Track Racer, they have excellent sim racing and flight sim equipment. They have whatever you're looking for when it comes to sim racing, flight sims, any of that stuff. Accessories, you need spare parts. Maybe you're one of these guys who likes to beat and bang down to the line a lot. Maybe you broke something on your rig. Hey, they got spare parts they can hook you up with, too. If you want to feel that ultimate immersion, they got motion and haptic systems. They got speakers and headphones. They got steering wheels and bases on offer. And they even got turnkey simulators. You don't want to set it all up yourself, have them do it for you and ship it right to your door. hit that power button and go racing. They do it all, of course. Once again, that's trackracer.com, trakracer.com. That's going to do it for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boom Tube. If you stuck it out with us here at the Michigan International Speedway, once again, this race number 8. Next week, final race of the regular season. That's going to decide your final 6 for the Nitro Shootout. So, hey, we hope to see you all back here next week. And until then, we hope you enjoyed the ride here on Boom Tube. I've been Adam LaVox. You all have a good evening.